Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be talking all things vegan diets. So before we start, please make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. Simply hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out every time I post a new video. Okay, let's get into today's video. So what exactly is the vegan diet? Well, a vegan diet is a diet that excludes all animal products and focuses only on plant-based foods. Okay, let us break that down. So, vegans do not eat animal flesh. That is, they don't eat all types of meat, including fish, seafood, and poultry. They also don't eat animal byproducts. That is, products such as dairy products, which is your milk, cheese, yogurts, and then they also don't eat eggs and honey. And sometimes they don't eat gelatin and rennet. So basically, vegans don't eat anything that comes from an animal. Okay? So now that you know what vegans don't eat, you're probably wondering, but then so what do vegans eat? Well, this is what vegans eat. Well, if you want to be a healthy vegan, of course, these are the foods that you need to include in your diet. Fruits and vegetables. You need to eat a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to ensure maximum nutritional intake of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants, and to strengthen your immune system. You need to include legumes into your diet, things such as beans, peas, lentils, and chickpeas. These are important for vegans as this will provide them with plant-based protein, since, well, animal protein has been excluded, of course. Some soy products such as soya mince, tempeh, tofu, edamame beans, and soy milk. These are also great sources of plant-based protein for vegans. Another food to include in your diet to be a healthy vegan is some whole grains, things such as quinoa, brown rice, oats, your rye, and your barley. These are high in fiber and will help keep you fuller for longer. They also provide more vitamins and minerals since they include the entire grain kernel, that is the bran, the germ, and the endosperm. And they also help to reduce the risk of certain diseases compared to their refined counterparts or compared to the refined grains. You need to include things like your nuts and seeds, things such as your almond nuts, your cashew nuts, macadamia nuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, and chia seeds. Some healthy fats, of course, things such as olive oil, your extra virgin olive oil, avocados, avocado oils, macadamian oils, and your plant-based dairy alternatives. Your almond milk, your coconut milk, oat milk, cashew milk. And okay, so then with plant-based dairy alternatives, always check the nutritional table to ensure that the brand that you're choosing has been fortified with calcium, which is very important since vegans do not consume any dairy. It's important that you get your calcium from other sources, which some plant-based milks will contain calcium. So they will be fortified with calcium. So you just need to check the nutritional table to ensure that the plant-based milk that you are choosing has been fortified with calcium. Right. So now you have decided to become a vegan, or maybe you already are a vegan, maybe for ethical, environmental, or health related reasons, or for whatever reason it may be. There are a few things that you may want to consider before becoming vegan. Protein. Since you're no longer consuming animal products, protein, of course, now you need to think, where are you going to get your protein from, since animal protein has been excluded from your diets. So now let's look at what exactly is protein and why do we need it. So protein is a vital nutrient made up of amino acid building blocks which are essential for bodily functions, including muscle, skin, and hair formation, enzyme production, and hormone regulation. So what are the essential functions of protein? Protein is important for building and repairing tissues. Protein is essential for constructing and maintaining the body's tissues, including muscles, bones, cartilage, and skin. Protein is important for cellular maintenance. It helps repair and create new cells, which is fundamental for overall growth and development. Protein is important for hormone and enzyme production. Proteins are the basis for enzymes and hormones that regulate various bodily functions and metabolic processes. Protein is important for immune system support. Proteins are the key components of antibodies, which are vital for a strong immune response. Okay? Protein is also important because it transports nutrients. Protein plays a role in transporting and storing nutrients throughout the body. Okay, and an energy source. Protein can act as an energy source when carbohydrates and fats are not enough in the body. You can use your protein as energy. So, to ensure adequate protein in your diet as a vegan, you may want to include things such as your beans, your chickpeas, your lentils, your peanuts. Okay, another thing to consider if you are thinking of becoming vegan, what you need to take into account is calcium. Since vegans do not consume any animal products, that means they also do not consume any dairy products, and we know that dairy is the primary source of calcium. So if you are a vegan, where are you going to get your calcium from? That is something to consider if you are thinking of becoming a vegan. So what exactly is calcium? Calcium is an essential mineral for building strong bones and teeth. It also supports muscle and nerve functioning, blood clotting, and hormone regulation. So what are the functions of calcium? Calcium is important for bone and teeth health. Calcium is the primary building material for bones and teeth and providing structure and strength. Nerve and muscle function. Calcium helps nerves transmit signals and allows muscles to contract and relax. Blood clotting. Calcium plays a role in the body's blood clotting process. Hormone regulation. Calcium assists in the release of hormones that regulate various bodily functions. Cardiovascular health. Calcium is involved in the contraction and dilation of blood vessels and helps maintain normal heart rhythm. So now you are vegan, you don't consume dairy. So where can you get your calcium from? What are the plant-based sources of calcium? Well, you can look at vegetables, your green leafy vegetables, things like kale, your spinach, your broccoli. Those will provide you with calcium. Also, almond milk that has been fortified with calcium, as well as almond nuts, are great sources of calcium. Almond nuts, chia seeds, yeah. And other sources of calcium would include your tofu and other calcium rich foods. So look for packaged food. When you are looking at food, look for food that has been fortified with calcium. So you need to read the nutritional table and make sure that it has been fortified with calcium if you are buying packaged foods. Okay, another thing to consider if you want to become vegan, remember, as you will no longer be consuming any animal products, it is important to consider vitamin B12. So what exactly is vitamin B12? Vitamin B12 is a nutrient essential for creating red blood cells, maintaining nerve and brain function, and synthesizing DNA. It is a vital component in metabolism and cell function, but it is not produced by the body and must be obtained from the food that we eat. The primary sources of vitamin B12 are animal products like your meat, eggs, dairy. Yes. So a lack of vitamin B12 can lead to serious health issues, including anemia and neurological problems. Okay, I feel like I need to repeat this one. It says the primary source of vitamin B12 is animal products like meat, eggs, and dairy. Now, this one is very important because vegans do not consume any animal products. So, this one is one that I feel is very important to consider if you are thinking of becoming a vegan. Because where are you going to get vitamin B12 from? Vitamin B12 is a nutrient essential for creating red blood cells, maintaining nerve and brain function, and synthesizing DNA. It is a vital component in metabolism and cell function. It is not produced by the body and must be obtained from the food that we eat. A primary source of vitamin B12 is animal products, meat, eggs, and dairy. So, what are the key functions of vitamin B12? Vitamin B12 plays a role, healthy blood and nerves. Vitamin B12 is crucial for the health of nerve cells and the development and function of the brain. Red blood cell formation. Vitamin B12 helps create healthy red blood cells that carry oxygen throughout the body, preventing anemia. DNA synthesis. Vitamin B12 is vital for making and repairing DNA, the genetic material in all cells. And the last one is energy production. Vitamin B12 plays a role in converting food into energy for the body. Now, what are the plant sources of vitamin B12? This one is going to be very tricky because the primary source is our animal products. So trying to get vitamin B12 from plant sources is going to prove to be quite difficult. So I would suggest that taking a very, very good vitamin B12 supplement will help you here. It is important because a deficiency can lead to neurological problems, serious health issues including anemia and neurological problems. So this is something that you should not be ignored. Vitamin B12 should be a significant part, should play a very important role in you making a decision whether you want to be a vegan or not. So I would suggest taking a very good, either a vitamin B complex supplement or just a plain vitamin B12 supplement. Another thing is that you can look for food that has been fortified with a vitamin B12. Things like your cereals and nutritional yeast may be fortified with vitamin B12, but then the amount that you might get from those foods might not be sufficient to sustain you. So I would still suggest that should you consider going vegan, or if you are vegan, I strongly suggest that you take a very good vitamin B12 supplements, just so that we avoid deficiencies and the complications that come with deficiencies later on in life. Okay, moving along. Another thing you should consider should you decide to go vegan, or if you are vegan, you probably know this, is iron. Iron is also very important. So iron is a vital mineral and a metallic chemical element essential for human health, where it helps make hemoglobin to carry oxygen and form protein for muscles. So what does it actually help us with in the body? It transports oxygen. So the body uses iron to produce hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that transports oxygen from the lungs to all tissues and organs. Right. Muscle function. Iron is also crucial for making myoglobin, the protein that supplies oxygen to muscles. Hormone production. Iron plays a role in the creation of some hormones. And then the body absorbs heme more easily than non-heme. So that means that it is easier for your body to absorb iron from animal foods rather than iron from plant-based foods. So this is also something to consider. Plants Sources. Excellent plant sources of iron include your lentils, your beans like your kidney beans and your black beans. Spinach and other dark leafy greens like kale are also good sources of iron. Other sources can be nuts like your cashew nuts and your almond nuts, seeds like pumpkin seeds, sesame seeds, flax seeds, your dried fruits such as apricots, figs, and raisins, and other fortified whole grains and cereals may contain iron. So again, it is important to look out for food with iron in it. So now that you know what to look out for should you ever consider to go vegan, it is also important that you properly plan your vegan meals so that you can ensure that you get adequate nutrients and avoid any nutritional deficiencies. So you plan your meals to avoid nutritional deficiencies and also try to include a variety of nutrient dense plant-based foods into your diet. When you're planning your meals, plan your meals around whole grain foods, whole foods. Forget the junk food. Let's look at being healthy vegan. So you must focus on whole food. Whole foods being your whole grains. Focus on whole foods being your whole grains, your fruits and vegetables, your legumes, your nuts and seeds, healthy fats, and plant-based dairy alternatives. This will ensure that you avoid nutritional deficiencies. If you plan your meals ahead of time, you can include all the foods into your diets so that you can avoid nutritional deficiencies. And another thing is that if you are thinking about changing to a vegan diet or to a plant-based diet, I would suggest that it would be important to speak to a health professional or a dietitian who can help you plan your meals and who can ensure that you avoid any nutritional deficiencies. So ensure that your meals, your diet is well balanced and nutritious. Okay? And the last thing I want to talk about is that are there any benefits to a vegan diet? Why are so many people doing it? Although we've spoken about the downsides now, the things that you need to look out for if you are contemplating on being a vegan. But then now let's look at are there any benefits? And I would say that a vegan diet can be beneficial if done correctly and if done the healthy way. So if you take your nutritional supplements, you ensure that you avoid nutritional deficiencies, you ensure that you eat a wide range of wholesome, nutritious, plant-based foods. You forget the processed food, you forget the junk food, focus on whole foods, nutritious and healthy food. You can reap some benefits from a vegan diet. So let's look at that. A vegan diet can offer some benefits provided you focus on nutrient-dense, plant-based foods. It can be beneficial for heart health because vegan diets are lower in cholesterol, lower in saturated fats and cholesterol, which helps to reduce blood pressure and LDL, which is the bad cholesterol, lowering the risk of heart disease. If you lower saturated fats, you lower the risk of heart disease. For weight management, when you focus on whole plant-based foods which are minimally processed, this can lead to a lower calorie intake and a higher fiber intake, which can lead to you being fuller for longer, which means you are likely to eat less, which can help in weight maintenance. Another thing is blood sugar control. Plant-based diets can improve insulin management and blood sugar control, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. Again, if you are following a healthy vegan diet, if you're eating whole foods, nutrient-dense food, they can help reduce the risk of cancer. A diet rich in fruits and vegetables and antioxidants found in plant foods can help lower the risk of certain types of cancers. Another thing is that it can improve digestive health. The higher fiber content of vegan diets promotes healthy digestion and regular bowel movement. And the last one is anti-inflammatory effects. Research indicates that a balanced vegan diet can have anti-inflammatory properties which are beneficial for various conditions. And that's all that I had to share with you today about the vegan diet. I hope I have shed some light as to what the vegan diet is all about, and I've spoken about the pros and the cons, the food that you can eat. I hope you now have a better idea of what the vegan diet is all about. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, it's free to subscribe. You don't have to pay any money. So please do the right thing and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out every time I post a new video. Bye. Catch me on the next video. Bye.